You and I both know that Apple are the dominant player in the tech industry, but what happens if I was to tell you that you can use their marketing strategy in order to build an incredible, successful, and profitable online consulting and coaching business? Because that's exactly what I did. Because literally 9 months ago, I had no info product, and now I have generated 312K in literally that 9 months, brought on 55 high ticket clients, and also hosted 3 masterminds. And that's because I copied Apple's market leading strategy in order to build my product. And this is exactly what I'm going to go through in this video, exactly how you can do the same. Because you're watching this and you're probably looking to transition into a coaching offer, or you're looking to scale your current coaching and consulting offer. I believe that we should stop looking at the competitors right in our industry and start looking at market leaders in other industries. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video that I used to basically build myself a very profitable, very successful, and very well-known info product in just 9 months. Because the first thing starts with user experience. And let's go through exactly what Apple did and exactly how you can then copy it and exactly how I copied it as well. Because everyone knows that people who have an iPhone, they just know it works great, right? It works so smoothly. You join, the onboarding process is incredible. Fun fact, Apple's setting menu actually involves 40% fewer steps than Samsung's, which is cool. And there's just that seamless in ecosystem where you can hand off to other Apple devices. And also Apple tracks 12% of its users' journeys, what they click on and what they buy as well, which is fascinating. So how can you copy this, and how did I copy this as well to build such a successful info product in such a short amount of time? Well, the first thing is I created a roadmap. I created a very clear onboarding experience for every client that joins me. It's a step-by-step instructions of what you have to do one step after another. And then also an onboarding program that gets them understanding the first steps. I also have a full information hub, all of this based on Notion, which is a really great product to use for your coaching business. And as well, a progress log that shows step-by-step every interaction we've had with them, what we've discussed and what we've discussed as next steps, so that everything is very clear to understand. And we also collect data on people. We collect data on people, whether they're in a good place, if they need some help, when their last interactions were, when their last one-on call with me was. We understand everything about our clients. And that's exactly what you need to do and what I copy from Apple. You need to create that roadmap that is incredibly easy to follow to onboard your clients and also then get them the results that they want. You should also create a way for customers to tell other customers about you. That's exactly what Apple does and exactly what they do with their ecosystem as well. And you should also make sure that you should make sure it's aesthetic to a point, but also just make sure it's simple. While the aesthetic is there for me, I also just make sure it's simple, not flashy diagrams, not flashy visuals. Don't spend too much time on making it look nice, make it look simple. And then lastly, you need to track your clients' progress. You need to know where your clients are on every step of the journey. And that's what Apple do, because they track, 12,000 might not seem like a lot, but of the hundreds of millions of users, probably billions at this point, 12% is a lot of data that they have on their clients. It means they can iterate. And that's exactly what you need to do, is track the data and understand everything about the clients that are working with you. And this is what this system does. And it helps me understand exactly where those 55 clients are right now. Okay, second is brand positioning, because Apple are incredible at positioning themselves in the market. That is why they have done so well. Because one thing you'll probably notice is while Apple iPhones and Apple Macs have equal specs to a lot of their competitors, Apple has managed to position itself as a premium brand within the tech market. And it does this using a few things. Firstly, influencer marketing, big events. However, the key is about emphasizing who the Apple user is. They talk about this idea of the creative. You see the people that feature in the Apple ads. They talk about thinking different. They have really positioned themselves as a clear person as a clear brand for creatives, which I find so interesting, because I've done the exact same for my brand, the Free Thinkers Club, but in a completely different way. I've gone for people who are stuck in a life that they don't enjoy waking up to. That's the kind of my equivalent of the think different, the creatives for Apple. And I've hosted dinners and I've got people who basically are resonating on that mission. I've created a sort of emblem, a brand positioning in that, and I've created events and for people to come together. So it's not just to join me to help scale their info product. It's actually also to be part of an overall mission. You want to create a brand brand and identity in a movement, no matter what your consulting or coaching business is. What is the overall mission you're getting behind? Is it that you want people to think differently? Is it because you're for people who are stuck in a life they don't want to live? Is it that for people who want to look in the mirror and feel happy with themselves? What is your brand and your identity and your positioning of your movement? That is something we can definitely learn from Apple. And you then want to create consistency in your marketing like Apple. Apple are always creating, fun, creative marketing. And that's something you want to make sure you do. It might not be fun, creative. It might be boring, systems focused, but you need to have some sort of identity. And then lastly, pricing that reflects high value and not trying to underprice competitors. I'm extremely expensive to work with because I want to be a premium brand where people can get together, people can build their info products, and I don't want to be trying to underprice competitors. I believe I put myself in my own niche, a category of one, and I price myself in that way, just like Apple does as well. It doesn't look at competitors. It has built their own brand and their own image of the people that want to come. That's exactly what you need to do, and you'll find people come with you wanting to work with you as opposed to wanting to compare you versus your competitors, which I'm sure you probably get on sales calls a lot right now. Then lastly, the ecosystem itself. This is the most fascinating part for Apple as well, because we know that once you buy the AirPods, or once you buy the iPhone, then you buy the AirPods, then you buy the Apple Watch, then you'll probably get a Mac, then you can get Apple TV. It goes on, right? Once you buy one thing, you want to buy other things. And they have one core offer, which is the iPhone or the Mac, but each has verticals where you can basically buy loads of other things. So their LTV, their lifetime value of their customer, is incredibly high. Once you've bought this, basically a micro problem exists. So what else would people need alongside a phone? This enforces the brand of Apple and creates a huge sunk cost to leave the ecosystem, because once you've bought the AirPods and the watch, you're very unlikely to then want to go and buy a Samsung phone, right? Because you've already decided that you want to implement yourself into the ecosystem. And this is incredibly interesting because this is exactly what I have done as well. Because what happens is I have one core offer that takes any coaching or info product to $20K a month. And then I have multiple upsells, cross-sells, and downsells. So I have created an ecosystem in the Free Thinkers Club where there's an editing service as well that we help people with, where we train editors, we get very good editors, and a small fee allows you to have access to them. And then a setter training as well. We also give people the option to have people come into their DMs, because we've seen that as being one big problem that people have when they start hitting the 10, 20K months. So we want to be able to provide that as well. And then I also have upsells, cross-sells, and downsells in terms of an extension program that is called my Scale program, which is for people who are doing 20K a month plus, a continuation offer where you can keep doing this, the cross-sell, and a downsell offer where you can keep getting support from me on a recurring fee after you finish this core one-on-one offer. So exactly how can you copy that? Well, you want to decide firstly what micro problems exist after a customer has bought. Do they, for example, need meal prep help? Will they need ad account setup? What are the sort of things that people are going to need that will help them? What are the problems they're going to have, and how can you solve them with downsells, cross-sells, and upsells? The other thing is just to wait for people to ask. I set up these products after getting repeatedly asked by my clients, how do I do my editing? Where do I find good setters? And that's exactly what I've done, is then set up that ability for people to have that. And it was very clear to me that I should set up those downsells, cross-sells, and upsells because people were asking. And then you need to work out how you can continue to provide value for people after they've made use of the existing product. So how can you in your coaching offer either continue working with people, sell them into another program which they get more specialized advice, or how can you continue receiving revenue and helping them for less of a price? So you want to make sure you're clear on all of that, and that's exactly what Apple have done. Is they will keep you generating revenue after revenue after revenue for them, because they have so many different offers that you can buy from once you've bought their core product. So those are the three ways that I copied Apple to build such a big info product in such a short amount of time, and exactly how you can do the same.